Hello, I hope you're doing well because I am. And today I just wanted to ramble. I don't know what my neighbors are doing, but it is very loud, and so I've turned down the gain. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about meditation, but not only that, but also how to build a habit as well as get rid of a habit because I was listening to a lecture. I was listening to a lecture by Alan Watts, and he said, if your New Year's resolution is to stop drinking, let's say, then the devil is going to realize that and he's going to know about it. And so he's going to put you, he's going to give you a choice. And obviously, this choice is not to drink for the next 365 days, which is very daunting if if you've made it a habit to drink every day or every other day. And so he said the best way to go about it is to just do it one day at a time. So you're gonna say, today I'm not gonna drink anything, and that's it. It's just gonna be today. And then whenever tomorrow comes, you're gonna think the same thing. So you're gonna be like, well, maybe today we also don't drink. And then on the third day, you're gonna be like, oh, I've already not drinking for two, so the third one won't be a big deal. And so you keep doing that. You keep just focusing on the day at hand because anything else would be quite overwhelming for you to process and to really commit. And so instead of having to carry that burden, you're just going to do one day at a time. And then eventually that's going to build up. And then hopefully that's going to help you get rid of your bad habit. Because otherwise, it's very overwhelming. And then you won't even try. At least I can definitely see myself falling into that, where you think it's already too late, maybe. And, instead of going for 10 days, you think that you're already too deep in it, maybe. And can't do it. So you just keep on reenacting whatever habit you have that you would like to get rid of. instead of that, you just set very small goals and just tackle that day. And so, where I was going with this, with my meditation practices, on the other hand, whenever you're trying to build or create a new habit, you can use the same principle. You can also just focus on the day and make sure that you get the repetition in whatever it is, or you create something. Maybe you want to get into music. And so, what I've found to be helpful is setting aside a time in your schedule, you know, whenever you have free time. So for me, this is before going to bed. And before going to bed, I know I'm gonna do half an hour of meditation. And so I don't I don't skip it because I know that that is the time for meditation. And in the beginning, I think it is very vital to have a time block set out for the habit that you're trying to attain, because otherwise it might get lost and you might forget about it, or you might just not do it because you don't feel like it. But I feel like whenever you set out the time and your intention to do whatever it is, you could be an artist, and even if you don't directly create a new painting or work on some of your projects, if you're just putting yourself in that environment and soaking inspiration, only that is already enough, I feel like. Of course, you could go and it would probably be more effective in a certain way to just live out whatever idea pops into your mind. But I know that sometimes it's difficult and you kind of have to ease your way into that process. You can't just go from 0 to 100. So just setting out a time and doing something related to that craft is very important, in my opinion. And then, once again, if you keep that mindset of just today, and then the next day, you still focus on just today, I think that is a much easier time for you, and not only for you, but it's mainly the mind. A lot of the times, things that take long term investment or a long time to build up, you can't really fathom them, and it's very daunting to just think about. So, if you think about how people made exceptional things, I don't think that they ever like really viewed them from day one to finish, but rather just keep working at it a day at a time, and then eventually something might happen or it might not. But all you can really do is just work on it, and do the best you can, obviously. And so I'm almost through with the ranks here. Um, there's mountain, and there's infinite, and then the last one, it's locked. So um, I hope that there's another one that is like infinite, and then next batch, and it says now 26 sessions. So I'm hoping this will just be like an infinite circle or something. I don't know. But this episode, it's decent. But what's really bothering me is the meditation sessions. You can just meditate for 5 minutes, and that would also count as a session. Or you could meditate for, let's see what the maximum is. You could meditate for 23 hours and 55 minutes, and that would also be one session. So there's a bit of an imbalance when it comes to those, but it's been really fun to seeing the progress. And I think that progress is nice, but if you don't like whatever you're doing, and if you can't really get lost in that, obviously meditation is very complex, but it's also very simplistic. It's very simple, but it's not easy. And that makes it very difficult because on the surface, you know kind of what to do, and you might even know how it feels, but it's still very difficult because of just the way that the human mind works, and just for the fact that you have like a brain and all of these neuron activities that are constantly going on and your thoughts. But if you find something that really you could do for hours on end, then I don't think you should have difficulty making it a habit. Of course, making a habit out of something like that is quite easy because you could do it for hours. What's really difficult is making the things that are difficult a habit. And as I said, if you want to do that, set out a time in your day, and even, you know, even if you set that time out for exercise and you really don't feel like exercising, you know, do a set of push ups, do a set of diamond push ups. Just do a little bit, even if it's not a lot. In the grand scheme of things, as long as your trajectory is going up, you're basically making progress. And focus on just today. Or do something that involves whatever it is that you're trying to make a habit. If that is exercise, and maybe look up a different way to target your arms. You know, I've been doing curls for my biceps, but curls are very boring in my opinion. So, another way to hit your biceps is chin ups. Obviously, chin ups don't only target your biceps, and they mainly target your back because you're pulling up your entire body, and your biceps is just simply too small to have that kind of power. But you're still hitting your biceps. And there's obviously a ton more. You can do preacher curls. I mean, there's not like insanely crazy exercises for biceps because it's mainly just a curl. But having some kind of variation from time to time can be very valuable just to spice things up and keeping it fresh. So, anyway, I hope you got something out of this video. If you did, let me know in the comments if there's anything that you're working towards. I wish you good luck. If you would like to save my life, you can do that by subscribing down below. Other than that, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day or a pleasant evening. Take care, stay safe, and I will see you very soon, okay? Love you. Bye bye.